And so far I've just shown you how to do this with basic cubes, right? With very simple geometry. But we can also do this with pretty much any object. And what I'm going to really do it with, though, are the metaballs, because I find them to be quite interesting. And here's how this will go. And so to start the particle setup, we will just add a particle system as before. And I'll just run through some settings quickly on this. I'm going to constrict the frame start and end to 1 and 1. I'm only going to have, say, 50 metaballs in, and we'll just put it at 100 frames. But really, the main thing here is I want to just render the particles as the metaball. And I'm going to uncheck show emitter and show emitter, and I'll restart the simulation. Now what you see is this kind of glitching effect, and that's mostly due to the metaball's resolution. And so what I need to actually do is decrease the scale of this resolution, and in the particle settings I need to increase the scale here. So I'll actually make this like 0.4. And you see these capsules, they're going to blob together pretty much as you see. I'll even go back to this object. And I'll lower it a little more. I'll give them a little bit more resolution. You want to be careful with this. And once this is set up, we could leave it as is, right? And it would just leave it with this kind of capsule orientation, which I don't think would be bad. I think it could be quite interesting, actually, to have this kind of blob of capsules that are all facing the same direction. But what you could do is add a rotation to the pieces. And if I do this and randomize it, now when we run it, you'll see that these capsules are kind of blobbing about. I forgot on this new simulation, though, to disable gravity. So you saw exactly what that was doing. And now that it's disabled, we can just watch this kind of lava lamp playing out. I'm going to increase the lifetime here because you saw it just kind of disappeared in the scene. And I'm just going to increase that lifetime so it'll last a bit longer. Now with this one, there are a lot of amazing moments happening. And that's something that's just kind of one of those properties of the metaballs where they do blob together. They really quickly form these intricate shapings. And I think this is exactly what I'm looking for, at least in my mind. So you'll see that where I hid the sphere from the emitter in the viewport, it's difficult to select that original object. So I actually selected it here from this part of the list. Now, with this sphere selected now, I still want to, for example, make these instances real. And again, just like before, what it has done is it has made this full list. We see that these are all metaballs, but they're all actually, it looks like, attached to this original one. So we can actually just convert this one to a mesh. And now we have this as a pretty interesting object that we could continue to work on and sculpt with. But you see that there are a couple of floating pieces here. To remove those, I'm going to go into edit mode, mesh, and separate by loose parts. And now you'll see that we have a free blob. The pivot, though, is located all the way over here. So I'm actually going to reset the pivot to this by saying object, set origin, and origin to 3D cursor. And that will move that origin point to the 3D cursor. And there we go. We got two different, pretty complex orientations of objects really quickly out of those particle simulations.